In with the tutorial for this session. What I want you to do in the tutorial today is I want you to identify one national or an international business, right? Any company, it can be in India or it could be an overseas company. And I want you to assess its supply chain operations. Okay, so this is the broad main question that we want to start with, or that I wanted to start to work with. And while doing this, what is it that you need to do? So firstly, you have to draw their supply chain process. And by the supply chain process, I mean, in the lecture notes, if you have seen, I showed you a figure where it was supplier, then the manufacturer, warehouse, transportation, distribution, and the end consumer, right? So that is the supply chain. So for the business that you choose, I want you to draw this, and this can be simply, you can even draw it on paper. Doesn't have to be very professional drawn. I just need you to show or learn that you have understood this concept. So when you draw this, you will identify your downstream suppliers and your upstream suppliers, right? Upstream stakeholders. For example, in the example that I gave in the lecture was about a car manufacturer. So if I am manufacturing a car, there will be suppliers who provide me the raw materials or the spare parts that go into making the car, right? And on the other hand, I will have consumers to whom I sell the cars. So that tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 suppliers, and tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 customers. So I want you to draw that figure. So choose a business and draw that figure and identify those tier 1, 2, and 3 suppliers and tier 1, 2, and 3 customers. Once you have done that, the next thing I want you to think about is what kind of data do they share, or what they should actually share among them to make their business or their supply chain much more powerful, much more strong. And based upon that, based upon this evaluation or this analysis that you have done, you can make some recommendations for the company on how they can improve their supply chain operations. Yeah, and focus more on the data interoperability part of this, so that you think from a data perspective, from an information perspective of what information and what knowledge is important, right? And how that can be shared between different different partners in the supply chain. And once that is done, I would like you to present your findings to the group. Maybe just speak for say 5 minutes or 3 or 5 minutes each, and you can give your key findings. So you have selected this business. There are 5 or 10 different companies as part of this business. These companies are, you can mention the manufacturer, the raw material supplier, whichever the business is, they can have different supply chain entities inside. This is the information that they share, and this is the recommendation that we would make for them to have a better information sharing across different partners. Okay, so that is the tutorial activity for today, to start to get you to think about the different aspects of a supply chain and start to think about how data is important in any business operation. Okay, so is the task or is the activity clear, what you are required to do? And I will copy these slides on the same Google Drive, so you can get the slides from there. Any questions from all of you? Anyone? So you have to complete 5 tasks. Identify a company, draw their supply chain process, identify their partners, supply chain partners, identify what data they should share among their partners, and then make a recommendation. So we have 2 hours, or like 1 hour and 20, 1 hour and 50 minutes left. So what I suggest is you spend the next 1 hour to answer these 5 questions. And then the next 1 hour, we will go through presentations, and we will ask each one of you to do a quick explanation about your findings. Is that okay with everyone?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so maybe another thing what we can do, we can use the same Q&A Google Sheet. And you can, if you want, you can make a note and start writing your answers there. So later when we have to review, I can use that Google Doc to review your answers and your findings. Okay, so just write your name and then start answering your bits of questions there. Okay. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm here.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Blockchain, which platform can be used to in blockchain, sir? Even in Java or even in any programs?
Yeah, I think the blockchain bit I will cover tomorrow's lecture. So we can have, I can answer all your blockchain related queries tomorrow.
Okay.
Because once I give the complete information, I think it will be easier for you to understand the technology.
Sure, sir.
So I have copied the slides on the Google Drive. So please check that you can get it. And I'm just going to make use the Google Docs to create a table so that you can start answering there. It will be easier. Okay, if you have a look at the Google Doc, I have made this table here. So you can write your name, then the company name, that is whichever company you choose. So for example, if it is me, I will put this.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
May I know where you have shared this Google Doc? It is in chat box or in your Google Drive?
Okay, I can share it again. I had shown that in the class previous lecture, but I will share that again. Give me 1 minute. Okay, now I have copied that link into the chat window. So this is an example you can see here. So what you can do is you can just copy this table and make one for yourself and start filling up this table. How many total participants we have, Malay, in the class?
Sir, 35 participants.
Okay, all right. So I have created, I'm making multiple copies. So each one of them can start using this. I think this should be enough. But if it's less, then you can make one for yourself. I can only see 5 people have logged on to the Google Docs. Have others finding it not being able to log in?
Let me check, sir.
Okay.
Sir, sorry to disturb you. As you have mentioned in the Google sheet that traders who sell products on Amazon. So you have to give the answer for that. And manufacturers who make the products in Amazon.
No, so that was an example that I have created. So if I choose a company is Amazon, right? So if I chose my company, which I want to use this for the tutorial is Amazon, then I have analyzed Amazon's supply chain,
Yes.
how they would be operating, and I have written some of the answers there. So similarly, what I want all of you to do is to identify one business, right? It could be any business type, and identify who the suppliers are to those businesses and who the customers are for those businesses.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe the first thing that all of you can do is to identify a business, and can you write that in that table under the heading your company. So write your name first, and then underneath write the name of the company that you want to use as a case study for this tutorial exercise.
Yeah. Suppose I look into one computer laptop business, or that is a computer business. Then if I look into who are the traders, maybe some hard drive, maybe some disk drive, some LCDs, as well as some of the power supplies, batteries. So these are nothing but I can say
these are all
the
the
manufacturers. Yeah,
suppliers.
suppliers.
Yeah.
And basically, suppose I am taking all these products and making some assembly, or I am just combining all these products to make it to a full form of a laptop or a computer.
Yeah.
So now these are the suppliers to me. That means these different accessories are supplying the goods to me. I am basically.
Yeah, that is right. So all the hard disk manufacturers, the RAM, the computer screens, keyboards, mouse, those all are your suppliers, because you are taking their products and assembling them to make a computer.
Right.
Okay. And once you assemble the computer, you have to sell it to a customer. Right. So the customer could be a wholesale buyer who buys, say, 1,000 computers from you.
Right.
So that is tier 1 customer. Tier 2 customer could be from that 1,000, somebody buys just say 50 computers. Right. Maybe it is a school or a university. They want to buy 50 computers. Yes. So that is a tier 2 supplier. And similarly, the third tier would be just an individual user like you and me who want to buy our own computer or a laptop. So that is a tier 3 supplier. So that is the information you have to add in the upstream and downstream section.
Right.
Okay, I can see some of you have started filling up the tables. That's good. So I think you can take maybe 15 minutes to fill up the table. I can see some of you have already filled up, but you can think a bit more detail. Yeah, add some more information to make this table a bit more thorough. And then after 15 minutes, maybe I can go through the initial, whoever has written. So we can go through a bit of that. And then again, you can continue to work. Okay, so keep a timer maybe for 15 minutes and then we can start. Okay, let's go through some of the answers that you all have written. I'll give the others some idea if you have not started working on it. Let me share my screen. You all can hear me, right?
Yes, sir. We can able to hear you.
Okay. All right. So let's take the first example here, which is written by Malay Kumarnath. So Malaya has chosen the company called HP, Hewlett Packard, for their laptop. The downstream suppliers you have listed are dealers, sub-dealers, and users. And upstream customers are these. So in fact, this is the other way around. So this is going to be the suppliers. So I'll move it here. And these are going to be the customers. So to make it, let's put it this way. I'll put one. Okay, so if you imagine this is the company, right? HP is the company that is making laptop. So to make the laptop, HP needs a processor, which comes from a supplier. It needs memory, that is RAM or hard disk. It comes from another supplier. Graphic card, battery, power supply, display, casing, and all other accessories. So there are different suppliers who manufacture these products and supply it to this company. Okay, so that's why we call these as downstream suppliers. So these suppliers, these downstream suppliers supply their products to this company, which is HP. Okay, now HP assembles these laptops and then sells it to dealers, which is their, I can call this as a tier one customer. Then sub dealers will be tier 2 customers, and let's call them, the third one as end users, which will be tier 3 customers. Okay, so when when this whole supply chain works, I guess in this category here, all of them are tier 1 suppliers. Yeah, all of them here. Let me make it this way. Okay, so why I call them tier 1 is because these suppliers directly supply to the company. So this is their first connection. So for this company, this is their first supplier. Then we can have tier 2 suppliers. And who could that be? Okay, so let's say, for example, we have to manufacture processors. What do we need for that? What do we need to manufacture a processor? We may need some semiconductors, some chips, some other electronic items, right? To build the processor. So these become tier 2 suppliers. Yeah, for processor, these become the tier 2. Similarly, for memory, RAM, again, you may have some other suppliers that are tier 2 suppliers that provide the raw materials to manufacture RAM. Yeah, and similarly for all that. So this is tier 1, this is tier 2. Tier 3, we can also go, and it could be even more detailed. For example, for semiconductors, I may need some metals and some rare earth minerals, yeah, to manufacture the semiconductor product. Yeah, so that becomes the tier 3 supplier, and so on. So you can see how the complexity kind of increases as we progress from tier 1, which was processor, tier 2, what is used to make the processor, tier 3, the actual physical things that go into making a processor, and so on. You can even go to tier 4. Sorry. Tier 4, and this could be mines, right? Mines as in where the metal is actually extracted from, or the ore. Yeah, so that is the tiers of different supplier levels. So that is going downstream. And upstream, we have dealers, we have sub-dealers, and we have end users. So here you can even give examples of the customer types, right? End user can be, sorry, sub-dealers could also be like big organizations that buy in bulk. Maybe 50 laptops they buy at one time, or something like that. Okay, so now when you see this level of interaction that has to happen in a supply chain, you may start to think, is that all the data that I need to share? You know, or is there going to be a lot more data that needs to be shared? So if we take just one item by one item, so let's say the communication between the company and the processor supplier. So HP and processor. So this could give you a list of data that they need for doing their business, right? Similarly, you can take HP and memory. Again, this will have some data that they want to share. So as you dig deeper and investigate and study more, you will realize that there is a lot of information that needs to be shared. Yeah, so it's not just this basic information, but could be a lot more than here. Okay, so is it clear what I'm trying to convey here? Do you have any questions?
Pardon me, sir. This is Mithun here.
Hi, Mithun.
Sir, sir, suppose you write on means the list by now analyzing the products that laptop has. These are the goods, means these are the means parts. But sir, is there any means guided rule is there, or we have to find for every? That means some specific protocols are there. These are the products, or these are the things. No. We have to design it on the demand.
Yeah, I think at this stage you can just take a guess or your best guess in terms of deciding what the suppliers and the customers would
So
be.
that means my question is that, sir, there means no specific, means we can skip also some points, or some points maybe not coming to our mind, or maybe that is actually
so if something comes to your mind later on, you can always go and add that to it. But as of now, whatever you have added, you can see. I mean, I did one example now to show you how to do it properly. I will take one more example of somebody next in the list, and then I will again give you 15 minutes time to reflect on what I just explained and to improve your table.
Our list.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir.
Okay, now the next one is the company is Power Grid. Supply chain processes electric power transfer. Downstream suppliers, power generation companies which generate electric power and give it to the power grid. Power transmission companies which transfer the electric power from power station to distribution substation. And power distribution company which transfer the electric power from distribution substation to the consumer. Okay, so if I put the company so I am the power grid, yeah. And these are the three different entities that send power to me. And then I forward it to the end consumer. I guess that's what you're trying to convey here. So generation is one supplier, transmission, and distribution. So my question to Raj Pandyan is, isn't the power grid doing the distribution? Who is doing the distribution? I mean, what is power grid doing? What is the role of this company? It has to be one of the three, I think, from my understanding of electrical systems. Power transmission. Okay, so this company is here, right? If this company is here, yeah, then this becomes their customer. Okay, and this thing is what the company does. So in this case, the transmission is equivalent to laptop, right? So HP is manufacturing laptop, and here power grid is transmitting the power. Okay, and there is a generation company that generates, and it comes to the transmission company, and then transmission company then distributes, right, to the end consumer. So this is actually the end consumer. So this is a very simple supply chain, actually, because the only thing that is kind of moved between the supply chain partners is electricity, right? But I can go here, and if I say this is my tier 1 supplier, what could be a tier 2 supplier? Yeah, it could be the companies that manufacture electricity cables, maybe, or transformers, or some other electrical equipment. Am I right? So this, I think, will be their tier 2 suppliers. Similarly, tier 3 also. You can go, and it will be kind of similar to the previous example. Is if you're manufacturing electric cables, you may need some metals or alloys. So tier 3 could be manufacturers of metals and alloys. Okay, so that could be tier 3 supplier. This is tier 2 supplier. And what data to share? In fact, there is a lot of information that actually goes here. And I would recommend you to check one of my recent papers, which I did on supply chain, power grids, blockchain, and IoT. Blockchain, IoT, and smart grids. So this paper was published last year. Let me search that for you. So you can check out this paper. This will give you a lot of ideas on what kind of data is required or could be shared in this example. Okay, I'll take one more example, and then I'll give you some more time to work on your document further. Where is it? Okay, Vipin. What is this company called? Delivery. Okay.
It's a logistic company.
Oh, it's a logistics company. Okay. No, is it delivery or is it Delhi? Like Delhi as in the city? Is it like this? Delivery?
Delivery. It's
Ah,
delivery, sir. A
Delivery.
startup. So in India.
All right. Okay. Nice one. Okay. So what do they have downstream? So companies, end customers, and e-commerce companies. So I would say if it's a logistics company, let's call the e-commerce companies as their maybe tier 1 customers, because they probably give them a lot of business, right? So they may have special tie-ups, and tier 2 customers could be end customers if they just want to send 1 or 2 shipments. Downstream suppliers, warehouse to store goods, shipment details of the products from the warehouse to the customer. So downstream suppliers, if we think about in this case, this is a courier company, logistics company, right? So they get their delivery from shipment details of the products from warehouse to the customer. So here the supplier is a warehouse operator. Yeah, so warehouse operator will give them the details of what products to pick. So I think in this case, the downstream supplier is only warehouse, or if there are smaller warehouses. Right, so there could be one big warehouse to store goods, as in, for example, Amazon has its own storage, right, system, warehouses. But then they can have small warehouses which are located in different parts of a city. And then it could be, from what I know, the way Amazon operates is they send a consignment of orders to a suburb or to an area where they have to be delivered. And from there, there is a like a delivery boy that picks up all the parcels for a given say society or area. So there could be this could be the three ways. So this could be your tier 1 supplier, that is the delivery person. The delivery person gets it from smaller warehouses, and smaller warehouses get it from bigger warehouses. Yes, I think that would be the downstream suppliers, and upstream we have already done. Okay. All right. So I think I have explained 3 examples. So maybe you can review these and further build your this table. I would want you to focus more now on identifying some actual quantifiable data that they can share, you know, more details that could be useful in making the supply chain more transparent and fast. Okay, so I'll give you 15 minutes again, and then we will I'll come back, and then we can do a few more examples. Okay, if you have any questions, do let me know. Okay, let's go through a few more examples to see some different case studies here. So I'm looking at this example here. Company name is distribution, downstream suppliers, organic vegetable distribution in one particular area. Because of many people interest to buy the organic foods, but no verification of the food. Making and follow up on vegetable farming. So I think Shivasakti, I think I'm not very clear what you're trying to achieve here. So maybe if you can take time to reflect on this more and add a bit more information, it will be clear or easier for me to then guide you on this. Next example is Reliance Mart. Okay, so downstream suppliers are small food industries, grocery suppliers, various goods suppliers. Upstream is dealers, sub-dealers, outlets. Okay. List of products, type of products for selling. So I think here you can be a bit more elaborate, a bit more.
Sir.
Hi, Mithun. Yeah.
Hi, sir. Here, I'm here, sir. Tell.
So downstream suppliers, I think small food industries, grocery suppliers, various consumer goods suppliers.
Means, sir, I am just concentrating on the Reliance Mart where we got all the packet foods.
Okay. So packaged foods right here.
Yes, sir. Reliance Mart packaged food actually, sir. That they are giving direct also they are selling the foods and also they are delivering the foods to the market. Means
Plus delivery. Okay.
plus delivery.
So upstream customers. So who buys from Reliance Mart? Is it directly the end customers, end consumers?
High-end consumers also, sir. Because dealers also opening their branches.
Okay. So then Reliance Mart gives it to dealers. Dealers then give it to sub-dealers.
Sub-dealers and directly end consumers also they are giving.
Retail outlets and end consumers.
Retail outlet, yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. List of products, type of products for selling. Yeah, this is a good start. But yeah, you can add more because there's a lot of more information that they can share to make the process more better.
Sir.
Okay, so this is good. Okay. Who is next? Pragya.
Paramita Pradhan.
ITC, wholesaler, distributor, customer. Okay, that is the supply chain process. Yeah, you haven't added anything here. So if you can add this, then I'll probably be able to give you some feedback. Zomato. Okay, at least this one I know. Customer order, Zomato app, restaurant, delivery partner, delivery to customer. Okay, so this is the process. Customer order on Zomato app, it goes to the restaurant. From there, it goes to the delivery partner, delivers to customer. Okay. Who are their downstream suppliers? Restaurants, bakery, beverages, dairy products, sweets. So basically all different types of food outlets, right? Yeah, so tier 2 is vegetables, fruit suppliers, retailers, marketplace, okay, farmers, stakeholders. Yeah, this is good. Upstream customers is delivery supporters and customers. So delivery supporters, I believe it is this delivery partner. and customer is tier 2. Okay. What data to share? Availability of restaurants, food type, variety of food, opening time, closing time, discount percentage, type of order, delivery, arriving time, reviews, comments, star points for the restaurants. You can also add some other information like weather, if it is raining or, something like traffic, congestion, etc. So this can also help the planning of the delivery properly. Okay, so this is quite good. This is very well done. So good job, Thanga.
Tangapurni, sir.
Thangapurni. Okay, so you are there. So yeah, this is good. You have done quite a good job. So at least I can understand that you have understood what I was trying to convey. And yeah, so I think here the delivery supporters is the delivery partner, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, in that case, I think this is perfect. All right, Shilpa. Orient Fashion Exports, garment manufacturing and exporter, supply chain process, order confirmation from buyer, sourcing raw materials, close garment fitting and other requirements, hand over to production team for garment manufacturing, shipping finished garments. Okay. Just make it a little bit idea easy to read. Okay, so there are 5 steps in this supply chain process. Order confirmation, sourcing the raw material, close garment fitting. Is it close or clothes garment? I'm not sure what this means. A handover to production team for garment manufacturing, shipping finished garments. Okay. Tier 1 supplier, fabric yarn manufacturing companies, fabric weaving companies, fabric dyeing and printing mills, fabric suppliers, trim suppliers. Okay, here you've got the numbering incorrect. So this has to be tier 1. This is tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. So for me as a manufacturer, garment manufacturer, I will reach out to I guess the fabric suppliers, right? That's where I will get the clothes from, or the fabric from. So that is my tier 1 supplier. This supplier then gets their material or their raw material from tier 2 supplier, and then so on and so forth. So this numbering was incorrect, so I fixed that here. Provide trims which used in garment manufacturing like stitching, threads, buttons, etc. Okay. Machine suppliers. Okay, so I don't know where machine suppliers would fit in this process, because assuming that it is already an operating business, they already would have some machines, right? But if the machine is missing or needs to replace, then probably has to be somewhere here. Customers, transport and logistics companies who ship finished garments from factory to port and then port to their destination country. That's perfect. Tier 2 customer, buyer who placed order to the factory. Yeah, with the factory. And tier 3 customer is end customer who purchase Garments. Okay. So I think in your case, if it is an export use case, then probably it should just stop here. Because for this company, their end customer is going to be here. Because this is not their end customer. What quantity, data to share, shipping details, order quantity, expected demand, available capacity with buyers. Yeah, this is all good. Perfect. All right. Next one is KS Suganya. Company name is Mobiles. Tier 1 supplier is processors and other hardware component suppliers. Tier 2 software and ISP component suppliers. Upstream Tier 1 online global distributors. Tier 2 local distributors and customers. Okay. Software and ISP. I think this also will be Tier 1 supplier itself. So this is the hardware suppliers, this is the software suppliers, right? But this company, mobile company, is approaching both of them, right? So I'll say Tier 1 suppliers for software, Tier 1 suppliers for hardware, and then Tier 2 could be some other suppliers, right? For example, in case of software, and in case of hardware, there will be different suppliers. For example, in software, it could be if you have to get a license to use any software, then that would be the Tier 2 supplier. And similarly for hardware as well, license to use any piece of intellectual property for hardware, like using memory chips, etc. Okay, this one is clear. Mobile specifications, screen size, OS specification, device and memory capabilities. Okay, this is good. Okay, looks like that is all the answers that you have done. So others who have not completed, maybe you can take time after the session today, and you can complete this tutorial activity. Okay, so now do you have any other questions based on today's session, either from the lecture or from the lab, from the tutorial? No, so we still have some time. Does any one of you want to present your findings, what you have reported in the table?
Pardon me, sir. Mithun here.
Yeah.
Sir, these in blockchain, sir, we have to means these data in the next session. These data, sir, we have to make a program.
Oh, sorry, could you repeat that?
Means, sir, in the next sessions, of the blockchain, sir. When we go for
Yeah.
programming, is there, sir, here?
No, I'm not covering programming because programming would need a lot of background experience. And I'm not sure all of your programming background because you all come from very different backgrounds, right?
Sir.
Hmm.
So, sir, that means in the next session, depending upon this, we have to make a model.
Yeah, so we will take this as an example moving forward in the future tutorials. So that's why it would be useful and important for you all to complete this so that we will base this as the foundation for the future sessions as well.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Does anyone want to present their findings from those who have completed the writing? Just for a few minutes, you can tell about or expand upon what you have written in the table. Okay, so if you do not have any further questions, then I think we can conclude today's session here. Tomorrow session will be more on introducing what is blockchain technology and various different applications of blockchain technology. I will focus more on the use cases that are related to supply chain, but also I will talk about other use cases and other solutions, commercial blockchain solutions that we have built. So it will give you a broad idea of how, of what all applications are possible using blockchain. Okay, so that is the aim for tomorrow. So tomorrow is an introduction to blockchain technology, so that those who are not do not have the background in blockchain, this will be very beneficial for you. And following that, the next two sessions will be on interoperability, blockchain interoperability. And the last session, day 5, will be on interoperability use cases using blockchain. So we will cover practical use cases using different industries where blockchain has been used. So that is the layout for the overall course. And I see there are some comments. Let me just check what chat messages are there. Okay, there are some questions about blockchain. So I will answer them tomorrow when we complete the blockchain background. Shivashakti, you mentioned we need practical program also, not only theory. So this course is designed to be more theoretical, not practical. If you need any specific practical advice on blockchain, I can assist you outside of this course, or I can even involve you in some of the projects that we work on. We work on various blockchain platforms here, including Polygon, Ethereum, and Solana, and also we are also doing one project on Algorand. So if your background is in, if your PhD or research you're doing on blockchain and you need practical experience, I think that would be a much better option for you to get involved. So you can also check one of the blockchain as a service platform that I have developed, and I will show that tomorrow. We have a team of 15 members who are part of this project, and I'll be more than happy if any one of you is keen to get more on the practical side of blockchain, then we can have you all give you the opportunity to be part of that program and that project. Okay, so I think we can conclude the session. Malay, is it okay?
Yes, sir. Sir, before concluding, I just want one information from you from the morning class. If you'll permit me to ask that question.
Yeah.
Sir, in morning, you have told about mutual sharing risk and rewards. How mutual risk can be shared? That means you are saying that mutual risk can be shared. So
Okay.
how it can be?
So I'll give you an example. Here we are doing one study where we are promoting or recommending the use of blockchain for supply chain partners, right? So it could be starting from the farm and going all the way to the consumer. So starting from farm to the consumer. And if we have to implement blockchain technology, because it is distributed and decentralized, everybody owns it, but nobody owns it, in a way. So one of the challenges that we identified was how to do the cost sharing so if you have to build a blockchain, who is going to pay for it initially and who is going to pay for it ongoing. So one simplest calculation for that is anyone who is part of the blockchain shares an equal proportion of the investment. But many a times there are parties in the supply chain, the companies, who are probably getting more benefit, will be getting more benefit by being part of on the blockchain network. So how do we decide who pays what, right? So for that, we have developed a cost sharing mechanism across the supply chain. So in this case, the risk is that the investment has to be made, but how can you share that investment risk so that everyone benefits from the benefits of having a blockchain solution in the supply chain? So that is an example of how risk can be shared across different participants in the supply chain. Similarly, rewards is the opposite of risk. So once you are able to leverage on the power of blockchain, there will be benefits that you as a company will receive, right? And again, here the challenge is the same, that some companies may benefit more and some companies will benefit less. So how do we decide that? So we have built a system, a cost sharing and reward sharing mechanism. And this is done in partnership with IIT Madras. So I had one student who came to study here with me. And we have built that as a way to risk sharing and reward sharing in a blockchain.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks for this the answer questions queried to the queries for my question.
Yeah.
So as you are saying that the risk as well as the rewards have been shared among all the participants in the blockchain. So in this case, the rewards as well as risk also shared by the end users. If rewards is there, then end user will get benefit or the profit of that. If risk is associated with that, so at that time there is a point is that the end user will use that product or not use that product. That means a risk, because as an end user, he may not able to take the risk. He always think of a reward. So
I think
as
in
we are
this
sharing,
case,
yes.
Yeah. So in this case, I think the end user is not part of the supply chain, right? So the supply chain finishes at the last point of contact, which will be the retailer, maybe from where the end user buys the product or the produce. So they are not involved in the risk and reward. For them, it is just a purchase, right? But the risk and reward is involved in the all the other entities, starting from the raw material supplier till the retail.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. I hope there is no more queries from the participants. So we can stop the session here. Tomorrow we can join at sharp 9 o'clock.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thanks for your nice presentation about today's session as well as today's tutorials. I hope all the participants have enjoyed the class, as well as some few of the participants also do the tutorials and they have understood the concept about the blockchain. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
And can I ask all of you, all the participants, to maybe in the Google Docs, maybe just write one line about you. So I remember your background. So your name and your research experience or research background. So it will help me tomorrow as well when I go through that list. And I would also recommend that you all be a little bit more active. Yeah.
Yes.
So today I was just asking you all to ask me questions, but you should actually ask me some questions. So be a little bit open and interactive. So I think the rest 4 days will be more enjoyable.
Yes, sir.
Going forward.
Sir, as you told me that every participant should write one line about them. I will do one thing. I will share the details about the participant to your mail ID so that you can have the details about each participant.
Okay.
Information.
Yeah,
What is the background? Yeah, that is also, yeah, I can share that information to you. As well as participant can also write a few lines about what exactly they want to know from this course, so that you can talk more in that aspect. It will be helpful for them.
Yeah, that will be good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Good evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.